should be happening. I think it's happening. Wait a few seconds for this thing to pop up. Take a slurp of water. Okay. Are you happening? It is. There we go. All right. Now. Oh, I forgot to check and make sure my microphone is doing the microphone thing and you guys can actually hear me. Is that working? Microphone's working. That one's not on. That's not on. Okay. So, I think we're doing okay. All right. I'm sure I'll get people yelling at me, turn your microphone up, turn your microphone down, turn off all your microphones. But here we are. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're back in the yard. It's ungodly warm in the house right now. So I got about an hour, do a little short show. The Dow Jones took a dump today, and the VIX went wee at one point. GameStop's getting hammered down, but there's only so far they can hammer it down. Basically, they can hammer it down to like $15.67, and it can't go any lower than that because of the cash and assets of GameStop means they're worth minimum $15.67 a share. So, screaming deals are coming in now on that stock. There was a sale of a $360 million office building in New York that sold for $8 million today at auction, which is basically the list price. We're gonna start this auction at $8 million. Any bidders, any bidders, any bidders, any bidders, any bidders, and sold to the bank who was putting it up for auction. There you go. So that's interesting. We got that going on. I have not made the list of all the raffle entries yet. I should do that tonight, and then hopefully I can do a show. Maybe inside tomorrow. I think it's gonna be hot again. What I might do tomorrow is I might get another extension cord, attach one of the mesh relays, put it in the yard, and then go back into the forest, and we'll do a show from inside the forest tomorrow. Because the fern forest is beautiful, and there's all sorts of like crazy trees in there, and I don't know, maybe you get to watch me get crushed by a widowmaker live on television. Yeah. Oh yeah, I still don't have any intros on this computer. So cows jumping, $, huge no problem. There we go. Intro done. Okay, N9 was first. Brandon Wells was second. ZM Got to Do With No was third. Legacy 10 Productions was fourth. And Legacy 10 Productions. Houston, can you explain to us the DTCC notice about unlimited FTDs shares being delivered for exercise option contracts? What does it mean for us? It means the DTCC just gave the green light for the options clearinghouse to send an unlimited number of naked shares into the market. Basically eliminating gamma squeezes, I guess. It's criminal. It's really criminal. So that appears to be what we got going on. So, oops. And that starts tomorrow, with the contracts tomorrow, I believe. So, Oh, and Saunders says, good night, pal. Well, you are in Wales, so it is nighttime for you. Boris Raspy, Houston. Thoughts on last week's trades posting that same meme that DFE posted? That guy definitely wanted to scam retail again. Shake my head. I did not see the tweet. I thought he retired. I thought he made so much money off of doing his options plays that he's like, I'm done, because he made like $10 million. More power to him if that's the case. Back when I was fresh and new to the YouTube thing, I was supposed to do a show with him, but he's having health problems at the time, and he'd be like, well, we're scheduled, and then it never happened. So, but you know, perhaps he's still paying attention and investing in the markets. He used to swing by the show every once in a while. But I don't think he's looking to scam retail. I think he played options really, 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 really well, and no longer has to work anymore. And you know, more power to folks who can make it happen. I've been trying and haven't quite gotten there yet. Boris Raspy, last question. Thoughts on Bitcoin crypto collapsing? Also, Nvidia and Nancy Pelosi bought more shares. Well, the Magnificent Seven, which are the 7 tech stocks that have been keeping the SPY afloat, have lost $2.6 trillion in market cap since the beginning of July, so in about a month. I'm sure Nvidia will post another quarter or two of amazing returns. Just like, look at all these chips we sold, how much money we made, before the mainstream media and others sort of really start doing a deep dive into the manipulation they're doing on those things. Because remember, they'll fund a startup. They'll send billions of dollars over to a startup, and that startup's job is to then take billions of dollars and buy chips from Nvidia. Then they buy those chips, they hold on to them, and then they go to a bank and they say, hey, I've got billions of dollars in chips as collateral. Why don't you lend me billions of dollars? And the bank goes, okay. And lends them billions of dollars. And they take that money and they buy more chips. And they go, hey bank, I've got even more chips now as collateral. How about you lend me more money? And the bank goes, okay. And they go and buy more. And each time, Nvidia goes, look all these sales we're making. And it's all just a giant credit scheme, like borrow from Peter to pay Paul type stuff. And those chips are not being used. They're just being stored as collateral. They're basically being used as a currency at this point. And the older they get, the more antiquated they become and the less useful they are. So they will begin to fade, and they won't be able to pay back those loans, and the whole system's going to come collapsing down, just like it did with Enron. So, but Nancy probably sees a couple more quarters of this lasting, and they'll be able to bilk some play out of that. And Bitcoin crypto collapsing. So Bitcoin's got a couple of issues they're going to be dealing with. One has to do with the Bitcoin bros are heavily behind Trump because they want to replace the US dollar with Bitcoin, because they've got a bunch of Bitcoin. So if they can replace it all with Bitcoin, that makes them even richer than they were before. Biden has the opportunity to crush those guys if he wants to by dumping all the Bitcoin, the $14.5 billion of Bitcoin the U.S. government has, onto the market, collapsing the price, and then regulating the crap out of it if he wants to. He could take every political enemy of his and just nuke their bank accounts in an instant if he wants to. I don't know if he's got the balls to do something like that, but if people don't have much cash to play with, they're not buying Bitcoin, and there's not much excess cash out there. So that's why we're seeing, markets start to temper. We see places like, are you going to buy Bitcoin or are you going to eat? Right? If it comes down to it. Well, if you don't have the cash, you're going to buy food, and we're seeing food places start to lose money because people aren't buying food. If they're not buying food, they're not buying Bitcoin. So you're going to see a lot of dip, I think, in all sorts of crypto, all sorts of stocks, other investments, as people tighten their pocketbooks. Everyone's going to be eating like canned beans or something at this point. Vernolk. Oh, sorry. Zajiga Shukla sent a super chat. I'm sorry. Oh crap! I gotta switch. I need to have more laptop screens out here. Make things so much easier. Okay. What's the latest news in the search for alien life? The last I heard was we were seeing a repeating signal from an object that we didn't think was like a pulsar. There's another object where we think there might be a partially built Dyson sphere that I think every 2 years or so this thing blocks the star and makes it so that we go, whoa, look at that. That's weird. And that's as much as I know. That's nothing that's been like, they're aliens, has really come out in the search for extraterrestrial life. Because of the probabilities that we find in the Drake equation. The Drake equation is sort of the likelihood of two intelligent species in the galaxy existing at the same time is pretty low. One sec, I think I can do this. Sorry. Oh, come on, you mouse. Here we go. I go that way. Okay. It's pretty low. So you look at how humans came about. It took us about 4.5 billion years from when the star formed, the planets formed, to life being smart enough to create language and eventually broadcast itself out into space. That's a long time, and it takes the right kind of star with the right kind of what we call the Goldilocks zone around that star, meaning water can exist in all three states, and then it's not too hot, it boils off, it's not too cold, it remains frozen forever. And the Goldilocks zone around stars differs. And so if you get a star much larger than our sun, you start to get way too much ultraviolet and other high energy radiation, and the Goldilocks zone doesn't really exist. If you get much smaller stars, the Goldilocks zone is very small and very close to the star, and that red light isn't quite energy producing. So we basically assume, like, okay, because of the violent nature in star creation, you got all these rocks and comets and things flying around, smash into stuff. It takes billions of years for the planets to settle down enough for life to evolve, and then billions of years from that life evolving in extinction events, etc., 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 until you can get creatures smart enough to broadcast their existence into space. And you look at the rate of stars being born, right? You look at what kind of stars are being born. A majority of them are teeny, teeny, tiny little stars. A lot of them are really big stars that can't form things. And around 10% are stars that are the size of our sun, the one that's making me too warm right now. Of those, most of those are binary systems, which are pretty unstable to try and have a good Goldilocks zone for those planets. Despite what we see in sci-fi, you know, Tatooine or whatever, it's difficult. So now we're at like 1% of possible stars in the entire galaxy can produce life like our own. Okay. So they all didn't form at the same time. They all formed different times, from 14.8 billion years ago to stars forming today. Meaning life is popping up at different times, way different than each other. And if life appears like our own, where we are quickly degrading our environment and possibly might nuke ourselves out of existence in a world war, then let's say from the time you broadcast into space your existence with radio and television, you might last 150, 200 years before you go extinct, right? Because you've consumed the resources, you squabbled, you got in a fight, and someone hit the button, and that's it. So the galaxy is 100,000 light years across. So if you are at one edge of it and you go, I'm exist, bing, and your light is leaving at the speed of light from there, it's going to take 100,000 years to go from this side to this side, right? And if all these societies all exist at different times, right, we could be broadcasting onto space. And our first television broadcast was Hitler in 1936, the 1936 Olympics, which is, you know, kind of an omen, I guess, or portent, maybe a portent. And so Hitler is now like 88 years into space, right? And anyone who's outside those 88 years has not seen us yet. So we broadcast Hitler. Hitler's going out 88 years, and we get 5,000 years out, and Hitler goes, woo! And there's a planet that, let's say, 6,000 years from now, bloop, a society appears. Okay, so this planet has a society that can hear our messages, but Hitler and all of our television broadcasts left 1,000 years ago. So they have no idea we exist. And then they broadcast out, and 5,000 years later they pass Earth, where, you know, it's a cold or hot dust ball or something, and what life is left is like, you know, eating dirt or whatever, and we have no idea they exist. This is the likelihood in the Drake equation for how intelligent life the likelihood of it being in existence. So I think it's awesome to look for it and to see if it's out there, because why not, right? Why not? But the odds of two intelligent societies existing in the galaxy at the same time is really low. The Drake equation with current variables estimates about one intelligent society every 10,000 years. And I don't think the odds are good that intelligent society lasts for more than 10,000 years. I mean, there are the categories of society where, you know, we talked about level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on. But That's all speculation. That's all sci-fi, hope. I think it's more likely that we are vastly alone. And, but I'd like to be proven otherwise, because why not? I'd love to high-five an alien. Right, monkey butt? Come here. Come here. You're like a little space alien, aren't you? Get up here. Get up on your little thing. Yeah, there we go. Are you happy, dog? It's warm out, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah. Look at you on your little camera. Look at you. See that camera right there? Right there? See that? Yeah. Good monkey cam shot. Isn't that monkey? Okay. Lobie says it's hot here too. It's only going to get a little warmer. There's actually some clouds are coming over, which is kind of nice. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we gotta click that. And there we go. Okay. And Vernalk says, I was about to go to bed early, but I guess I'm sticking around. How are you folks doing today? Doing fantastic, right? I'm doing fantastic. You're doing fantastic? I'm doing fantastic. Jason Blackwell, Houston. 2 guys with eye patches jumped into my car and robbed me. They were pirates of the car I be in. Oof. Oof. Alex Bishop, I'm going out tonight. Hell yeah, says 54. Boris Raspy, Houston. Thoughts on AMC squeezing harder than GME on the next run? Bots are going to come full force pumping AMC for fake MOAS before crashing it down. Thoughts on the next run? I mean, if GameStop goes, AMC goes. Will it pump harder? Maybe percentage-wise, because its price is so low. It's pretty easy to pump it 100%, right? And it's a little bit harder for GameStop to go 100% because it's a higher price, higher floor price. But we know that if AMC pumps 100%, Adam Aaron is definitely dumping into the market. So it'll be short-lived, whatever it is, because that's what he does. So, yeah. Oh crud! I think I wasn't in the live chat. There we go. Oh goodness gracious. Now I gotta reset everything again. Okay. Where were we? That was Jason Blackwell doing the Pirates of the car I be in. Jason Blackwell. Hey Houston. Name 2 VPs that have shot people while in office. Answers below in comments. Dick Cheney shot a guy, and then the guy apologized to Dick Cheney for getting in the way of his gun. And I mean, I'm sure there's VPs that have like been in war, right? Like George H.W. Bush flew bomber runs, so I know he blew people up. Lyndon Johnson, I think he was a badass in the military one time. What other guys? Is Harry Truman ever in the army? I'm sure there's guys who've been in the military who've definitely shot people who've been vice president. And I don't know if that's what your question was, though. I think you're leaning more towards the Dick Cheney shooting someone in the face thing. Oh, Hamilton, Aaron Burr. Boom. He shot Hamilton. Is that it? That's 2. I'm going to go with there's more than that, though, because, they must have been Army dudes. Army dudes as VPs who shot people. Boris Raspy, Houston. Thoughts on AMC? Oh, you just did that one. Oh, Jason Blackwell. Dick Cheney shot Harry Whittington in the face. Aaron Burr killed Alexander Hamilton. Bam. But now I really want to know which... Which... vice presidents who served in military. Okay. How many vice presidents served in the military? We got Thomas Jefferson, Aaron Burr, George Clinton, Richard Mentor, Johnson, Tyler, Richard Mentor Johnson, John Tyler, Millard Fillmore, John C. Breckinridge, Andrew Johnson, Henry Wilson, Chester A. Arthur, Theodore Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt definitely shot a guy. That's Teddy Roosevelt. Charles G. Dawes, Harry S. Truman, Richard Nixon, Lyndon Johnson, Spiro Agnew, Gerald Ford, Walter Mondale, George W. Bush, Dan Quayle, and Al Gore. I think some of those guys, modern guys, were like reservists, and I don't know if they really saw any action. But I would doubt. Let's take a look. Lyndon Johnson, military service. Boom. He's in the Pacific. He was in the Navy. So Navy guys, as lieutenant commander, he won a Silver Star. You don't win a Silver Star by being a pussy. So during World War II, he served briefly as Navy lieutenant commander, winning Silver Star in the South Pacific. After 6 terms in the House, Johnson was elected to the Senate. That didn't really say what he did there, but if you're winning Silver Star, you're doing something that's pretty gnarly. I'm just going to go with there's more than that. Because, you know, Army's pew-pew. Yogi, next year Tuesday, can we help baby dog save Greenbrier? You guys want to buy an antiquated resort in West Virginia? Greenbrier is in default. If you don't know what Greenbrier is, it's this big fancy resort in West Virginia. It's famous for having a very complex and very large underground bunker system that was originally designed to house, I think it was the Senate, it might have been the entirety of Congress and like all of their families and aides. We're talking like thousands of people. This bunker's huge. And you can go take tours of the bunker today. But the governor of West Virginia's family owns it or controls it, but apparently maybe not for long because they've not been paying their bonds. So, yeah, we should raise some money. We can buy ourselves a bunker and go paintball in the bunker. How about that? That sounds like fun. Michael Tucker, what's the next magic date people are talking about for upward movement in the price of GME? I think if we start to see Keith Gill buying boatloads of options again, then we have our magic date. Until then, like keep your eye on the options market. If we start seeing purchases similar to what Gill likes to do, that might give us some oomph. Right now, but it's okay, right? Save your ammo, and you can hopefully jump in when things look like they're going to get squirrely again. Snort alert. Oi, snort alert. Ed, dude, MMTLP just filed for bankruptcy. MMTLP did? Or... because next bridge hydro, oops, got my leg bug, carbons bankruptcy. That's last year. I don't see anything from NextBridge saying that they declared bankruptcy. That's from May. Nothing popping up in the news. Do you mean Metamaterial? I can believe that because they've been destroyed from the inside. Okay, now this is workforce reduction. That's from May. All. Okay, workforce by 80%. That's also from May. I mean, this is stuff from a couple months ago saying that it's likely to head towards bankruptcy because they've just eaten the company from the inside. But I don't see it announced. News? It's not pop up on news. If you have a link, by all means send it to me. Maybe I should check, see if it popped up on whatchamajigger on Twitter. Search. Where's my search bar? Search bar. Oh. Breaking Metamaterials, files for bankruptcy, board directors tore the company apart, bad actors. So this is 1 hour ago. Okay. So they have. So it wasn't MMTLP, it was Metamaterials that did. Apparently they filed on the 26th, and it only just came out now. Well, there goes that. And everyone telling Uzi that he's a piece of shit. So I agree with that. July 26, 2024, Metamaterials Technology Canada Incorporated commenced bankruptcy proceedings by filing an assignment in bankruptcy under Section 49 of the Bankruptcy Insolvency Act Canada, and the District Court of Ontario. Grant Thornton Limited was appointed as trustee of the bankruptcy for the benefit of the creditors of MTCI. The trustee will wind down the business of MTCI and make distributions, if any, to its creditors in accordance with the applicable provisions of the Bankruptcy and Insolvency Act Canada. Okay, so there it goes. That's what happens when the shorts win, man. They absolutely took the first Nova Scotia, what's the term for it? Cinderella? Unicorn. First Nova Scotia unicorn in history, and destroyed it. In a matter of, what, a year? They took subsidiaries that they had purchased for $70 million and sold them off for 1/7 that, and gave up on patents, didn't even bother trying to sell those or market them. Just absolutely took that company apart so quickly. And if I'm not sure about, I know nothing about Canadian bankruptcy law, so I hope that there is a receiver or administrator appointed that's similar to Goldberg. I know people are like, oh, Goldberg, but Goldberg sued former board members for their actions in destroying the company. There needs to be someone who sues Uzi and Harding for what they did to Metamaterial, because they destroyed it. It's gone. It's toast. Yeah. Just meh. The potential. There was so much potential there. Oh well. Such is life. All we need is one win, right? Just one. Just one win. And then, you know what? We can invest like rich people and just do dividend stocks and index funds and just chill out. Okay. Says 54, Bill Ackman, womp womp, raised no money. ICANN still haunts him to this day. Yeah, wasn't Ackman going to do an IPO and then pulled the IPO because he realized everyone hates him? Yeah. Here's Miami Ed. It's MCTI who holds the MMAT shares, not MMTLP. Yeah, MMTLP is not the one who's going bankrupt. Yeah. Allegro Grub Houston, happy birthday. Any update on No Labs? No. I got nothing new. The most recent thing I saw was they presented at another conference. That was probably a couple weeks ago. And they released their data showing that like 93% of the time they nailed the blood glucose levels as normal, hypo, or hyperglycemic. I don't doubt that sometime in the next few months, the word was last year that they would be shooting for fall of this year to do their FDA approval. So I don't see anything that would make that not happen. I think it's very possible right now. So sometime in the fall or early part of the winter, why not? CPAW says 8/8/24 is the next date. Sure. That's next week, right? The 5th is Monday, so Tuesday 6th, 7th. So that'll be next Thursday. Day of the Bachelor, daily market instability. We like it. We like it a lot. Don't see your shade. I'm down 8% on my count. That's after hedging up all week. What a mess, but not surprised. Hedging up on GameStop because it's down. It hit 21 something today, didn't it? Or was it? GME price 2171 at close, and it bottomed out even lower. Got to 2117 in after hours, and is now mellowed out at 2135. So we're getting pretty low. Like, not too many companies have this much cash on hand and get hit like this. It's kind of ridiculous. Dog, you're just as warm as I am, and you are. That's because you keep sitting in the sunshine. If you keep sitting in the sunshine like that, you're going to be a panty machine. Thomas Dubois, I made it even with chemo kicking my ass. Let's see what the Professor Houston and Monkey Butt got brewing. Oh, Dubois, you got chemo kicking your ass? I am so sorry, but defeat it. Defeat the chemo. Well, let the chemo defeat whatever it is it's battling in you. Right, Monkey? Yeah, be a groundhog over there. Okay. Donkey Donk's bark accumulating phase. Okay. Cheshire, Houston. What's the difference between the 16B case and this Bratia case against RC? Is this the last obstacle before we can reissue new shares? If not, do you see it going past 2024? Thanks. Court-wise, yeah. The Todd Judith case is gone. The BCG case is gone. Bratia has their hearing tomorrow on class status, which may result in the case just getting dismissed. And I don't see any other big obstacles in there. Looks like what's his butt? MJL. It looks like his little portion in the bankruptcy case is not going to get tossed. He's going to be forced to pay a huge fine. Yeah. So soon, I think. I don't foresee anything else legally blocking them from doing badass stuff after this. So cross those fingers. The Ratster is here. Donkey Donks. Watch the IWM and yield curve. Weird things are happening with the yield curve, aren't they? Didn't it just uninvert for a moment? Let's see if I can. Okay, go like this. I go to scenes, which does not give me anything. If I double click on that, and I go like that, and I go there. There's the GME price. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's GME. We need to look at yield curve. I know the 10 years took a dive today, right? What we got? Oh my goodness. Start me at today's date and then work backwards. Treasury yield curve. So, oh crap! I forgot what tables were which. So, 1 month, 30-year on the right. Okay, 1 month to 30-year. What we got? Okay, so we got 30-year, way higher. What's this guy doing? Is that 30, 20, 10, 5? Is that 3-year notes? Boom. These are the ones that are doing weird things right there. Huh. That is looking very inverted. Very inverted indeed. Which ones are those? Those are the 3-year and 5-year. So 3-year and 5-year have inverted from the 10-year again. Or sorry, 7-year. So, these are now lower than those. If we scroll all the way back down again. Thank you for showing me the curve, actual curve here, table. Yeah. So that's the 7-year, that's the 10-year, and the 3 and 5 are lower. So inverted, baby. Inverted. Right, monkey? Interesting. Yeah. Definitely keep your eyes on those. If you guys don't know what that means, it means they're seeing short-term credit as sort of a less of a risk than long-term credit, thinking that in the short term, companies that have a lot of long-term debt aren't going to make it, and so the interest rates invert. Corporate Walnut, hope you are well. Please ask the rock gods to make August 2nd something interesting. Wouldn't that be great? But I don't get paid until Monday. So don't make it too interesting on Friday. Make it interesting on Tuesday? Treats for monkey butt. I have no treats out here. I have no treats for you, monkey. None whatsoever. Don says, Thomas, thoughts are with you. You're a trooper. You are a trooper. You made it here while battling chemo, dude. Colin, cash value GME would be a dream. Yes. Sujo, BBY bonds mature today. Roaring Kitty emoji tweet beer. Friday, National Beer Day. Expecting Roaring Kitty tweet on Sunday, perhaps. And next Thursday, bankruptcy court. Any news? It is Beer Day tomorrow. I don't know if we've hit the other emojis. Like, we did the dog one for sure. We may have done the American flag one 4th of July, but the flames and the explosion and the beers, I have not seen flame or explosion. Some people are saying that the explosion was the assassination attempt, which would be just weird time traveler prediction stuff. I'm not buying that. So I don't know if we are to beers yet. Roaring Kitty really hasn't given us anything since posting the dog emoji when he bought a whole bunch of Chewy. So, yeah. Damn, the giant tree behind you. It's a decent sized cedar. It's a second growth cedar. There are stumps back there that are way bigger than that. Like this guy's probably, I don't know, maybe 100 years old. Let's go stand by it. Go. Decent sized tree. So I'm 6'4", so my wingspan is also 6'4". It gives you the idea. It's about probably that wide, maybe a little wider. Probably takes, I don't know, 5 or 6 people to hug it, ring up, get their arms around it. And there are stumps back there that are huge. I'm talking probably would take 20 people to hold hands to circle the cedar stump. These red cedars are giant. There's also some really huge maple trees, which is kind of rare because the big leaf maples, they just kind of like give up the ghost and just. But if I do a show from the yard tomorrow, I'm going to try to do it. There's a cedar stump that's probably 10 feet across, that's or part of a cedar tree that fell over is about 10 feet across, and then there's a giant maple that itself is probably 7 or 8 feet across, and it's an epiphyte. It's using it as a nurse log, and all its roots are wrapped around the tree. It's really cool. It's one of the prettiest trees in that forest, and it's got its own fern forest inside the maple tree, so it's pretty neat. And 9 says Jake posts over the last few days really starting to connect the dots. I sure hope he's right. I think he is. I think he's very right. Sapien Houston, do you think the claims effective bar date on the 30th September is important? If so, is it the final marker before tendies? It's getting there. I mean, basically, they accept or reject all the claims by then, and my guess is that most of them are going to get rejected, and then they're going to have to file and be like, no, don't reject me because of these reasons, and there might be a little bit left. But if there is some sort of settlement that comes out of suing the board members from perhaps JP Morgan, it can really speed up that process by infusing a bunch of cash into the company, which then allows them to pay off creditors without having to worry about it, and then re-emerge from there. Colin, what a joke, the DTCC options clearing bullshit. Ed says Bitcoin bouncing back. It might be. Is it bouncing back? It dropped to like, what, 63 today? It's faster for me to look on my app here. It did a huge bounce back. So it bottomed out at 62, just roared back up to 65, and now dropping again. Just, that's insane volatility, man. Corporate Walnut. I have very educated friends in science that say the Mexican non-human mummies are of interest. I have no idea what those are. Are those the ones from the dude in Peru that got found to be a fake and then brought them to Mexico? And then everyone's like, oh, they're real suddenly? That might be what happens. Well, Raspy Houston, that meme meant immediate run, but it did not. Still trading sideways. It's doing a little bit less than trading sideways at this moment. Fred Jones, Houston, can you do a second intro for all of us that have live second intros? I mean, I don't have the... Oops, I made a goof. Now there's a farting rhinoceros flying by. There we go. Raster, are you looking for rock jokes? Let's see what we can dig up. Oof. Julius, crud. That just reset. Okay. Gold currently climbing, 2,445 and climbing. With all the rockets flying tonight, tomorrow is going to be spicy. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if we see the market correct itself in a significant manner, like it probably should. I wouldn't doubt seeing gold go above 3,000. It's silly high right now. The Capo is here. Fantastic. Stephanie L., in your opinion, is a HELOC or a cash out loan the best option to get equity cash to pay off debts and do upgrades? A home equity loan or home equity line of credit. House is paid off. I would say the people in my life have experienced the home equity line of credit, not so much with things like a cash out loan. The house is paid off, you have a gigantic equity line. So my best friends, they bought a house in West Seattle in 2011, whenever the market was like in the absolute dump. They bought this house for like $200,000. It has since been appraised at about $1 million because the market has gone stupid since then. And they are building a home elsewhere, and so they took out a home equity loan for almost $1 million on the house they bought in 2010 and are using that home equity line of credit to build their new house before they sell the old one and pay off the line of credit. So they're basically upgrading because their current house is teeny tiny. It's a little 600 square foot 2-bedroom, and they're building one that's in a little bit in the sticks. It's gonna be a couple thousand square feet, and it's on several acres. And so basically they can take that little home, the equity in that little home, build something bigger and more badass in the forest on the river, and then sell the little home and pay off that loan like instantaneously. So home equity lines of credit seem to be pretty standard to do if you need to do upgrades and stuff, you know. And then if you do the upgrades, like I remember my mom taking out a home equity loan to redo her kitchen, and because the kitchen was like from the 70s, completely antiquated, she just took out a home equity loan, redid the kitchen and all the bathrooms, and redoing the kitchen and the bathrooms up the value of her home like $90,000 for taking out a $30,000 loan. So she got even more equity after that as a result, which was beyond what the loan was. So something to think about, something to ponder. Oh, the fat cat's coming outside. Hey, fat cat. Come on. Come visit. Why are you just standing there? Come on. Come on. Fatso. Come on. Come on. Oh, Julius is it. Julius is the one to talk to. Because he used to do these construction loans. So the home equity line credit are 10-year versus cash out, which are 15 to 30-year loans. There you go. He's the guy to talk to on those. Okay. Where'd I leave off before I lost my spot here? Okay. There was that. Capo made it. Girk's ice cream with Danwich, Ryan Cohen dumps into run as well. He does. And he needs to stop it. Stop it right now. Number of letters. I love Houston, but hate he's not on the AMC boat. If you invested AMC in 2021, your investment is worth, what, 1% of what it was? So I'm not cool with that. If you invested in GameStop, depending on when you invested in 2021, your investment is kind of worth what it is. So that's, there's one thing like raising capital, so you've got huge amounts of cash on hand. Another thing when you're raising capital to pay off the boatloads of debt you accumulated because you ran your business poorly for so long. Those are two different things. Don't see to shade him. I am now convinced there's a higher probability of alien visitations than an AMC MOAS. Still holding. Daedalus, I'm going to have to retell the Drake equation to my wife. This is damn scary, but great explanation nevertheless. Thanks. Not so much that it's scary, it's just that, the odds are thin if two smart civilizations, intelligent civilizations are going to exist at the same time. Oh, did I miss another super chat here? Ed, explosion flame on GameStop Twitter page. Scroll through, you'll see them. It's so weird, no one talking about it. Explosion flame on GameStop Twitter page. Okay, we go there. We click on that guy. We go to. Whoops. Oh, because I don't spell things right. I put an extra I in there because I'm a doofus. Bing bong. 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 Go. Alright. GameStop Twitter page. GameStop. Boom. So flames and explosion. Okay, there's the guys going to Comic-Con. That's Zelda. Those are cases. There's that. There's 35 years of Game Boy. There's more video game covers. There's some more. There's some cards. There's some Xbox physical media things. Okay, flames, and there's the Comic-Con one again. There's that. There's that. There's that. There is Karate Kid Street Rumble video game. Okay. Assassin's Creed thingy. Okay, there's that. There's some of that. There's more Deadpool things. More cards. Where are we now? We're now back a couple of weeks. Okay. Flames and explosions. Clips. And again, I'm really terrible at looking for hidden meanings and things. That is not where my genius lies at all. Uno, reverse cards. We know lots of Uno things hint to stuff. I know that. Star Wars. Score, kick, Luigi's Mansion, more Deadpool. Flames and explosions. I mean, that might be a flame. I don't know. Talisman. There's wrestlers. They usually have like flame explosions when they enter the stage, right? Whoa, look at that guy. Look at that smiley guy right there. Okay. College football. More. There's some flames. There's a dragon with flames. I just feel like I could scroll this forever and not see what I'm supposed to see. That's boring. I'm done with this. Okay, so there may be things in there. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay. Vernalk, Houston. Allegedly, Wendy's and McDonald's are running out of cash. Is this the soft landing? Well, we talked about when McDonald's came out with their Q1 earnings, we said, hey, this does not bode well. Yeah, they still made a profit, but their sales are way down. Their sales are way down because they have three main demographics. They have children, the lazy, and the poor. And the poor are gone. So you just now have the lazy and children, and a lot of lazy people will do work if it means something's really expensive, and they're like, so they're kind of half gone. And then children don't have any money. So basically they just have to beg their parents to take the McDonald's, and that's not enough to keep the company going. If you can go to a sit-down restaurant, a local diner, a bar, a pub, sit down, order yourself a burger, fries, and a beer, and it costs you the same as going to McDonald's to get a burger, fries, and a Coke, you're going to end up going to the restaurant where you get the better food. Because let's face it, the burger patties are going to be way better, the buns are better, the veggies are better, the fries could arguably be better depending on quality-wise, but the McDonald's fries do have a very unique flavor. And you're going to get a more expensive drink than the cola or whatever you're going to be getting at McDonald's. So McDonald's is no longer competing with other fast food restaurants. They made the mistake and are now competing with legit sit-down restaurants. And it's easy to be lazy when it's cheap, and it's easy to eat at a place like McDonald's when it's cheap. But everything has gotten way too expensive, and they killed off their clientele. So you're noticing that like $5 menus are returning at places, and that's because they're like, oh my God, we killed off our clientele. So yeah, they need a lot more volume to be coming through those restaurants if they want to be able to maintain the hegemony they have. And if you can get better stuff for cheaper, you're going to get better stuff for cheaper than going to like a McDonald's. I end up at McDonald's not very often, but when I do, it's because they're open till 11 and like the grocery store closed early because they're polishing their floors. And I go, I'm so hungry. I could drive even further and like go to the casino and get food, or I can just go right there and get some French fries. And that's kind of like, it's more of a matter of circumstances. And then I get in there and I'm like, why is this so expensive? This is stupid. So yeah, they're doomed. Wendy's, I don't know much about Wendy's. I know my brother absolutely loves Wendy's because he gets, for like $2, you can get like one of those little milkshakes, Frozens, or what do they call it? Frosties, free every day for an entire year. So he is there all the time getting those little milkshake thingies for free. But yeah. Where was I? Okay. Seagill, true story. Son of Richard Smothers. Smothers Brothers is a porn star. He uses his actual name, Dick Smothers. Oh, well, now we know that the Smother Brothers were also probably swinging pipe. Smothers others. Chillface Houston, what's up with BITO ETF? I read an article that said it offered a 35% dividend, but the NASDAQ website shows it with a 77% dividend. I know nothing about the BITO ETF, so I guess we will take a look at that. Only got a couple more minutes here. I gotta click on this one. BITO ETF. So, the price is $20. Blah 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 blah. The high has been as high as 34. Let's ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. Let's see what's telling us here. Mosquito in my ear. Okay, performance. So that's what performance is done. Okay. Total return. 79% is the return. So that might not be dividend necessarily. Since inception, it's down because 2021 was when we had the second peak, right? Expense ratio, trading volume, market price, QSIP. Maybe I can do BITO dividend. Dividend history, there we go. So currently the dividend is about 76% year over year. So the annual dividend is about $17. That's a pretty good return rate at the moment. It gives out, looks like it does a monthly dividend. So it's doing, right now, recently it's about $1 and change each month. Before that it was 30 cents, 14 cents. Come on, scroll. Scroll, come on. Scroll. Okay. So, it's making me scroll through ads here. That's lame. Okay. Yeah, so everything else prior to that was below $1, but suddenly everything's over $1. And that looks like it's from when the price started to spike again, when the other ETFs started to form. So, why are you... Go away. Right, whatever. Okay, now just my exit. Oh my gosh. Quit trying to load ads on me, dude. Quit loading ads. Quit loading ads. Go away. Okay, so it looks like the big spike in price is from when the ETFs the other ETFs got approved and Bitcoin went whee. So yeah, it's doing a pretty good return month over month right now, and my guess is it's going to only go up from there, because prior to that you're making 1/10 of what the return was, and now you're doing basically, what's $1.40 times 12? Clear. 1.4 times 12. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, you're going to average $16, $17 a year out of that thing is trading for $20. That's not too shabby. Not too shabby indeed. But if Bitcoin shits the bed, then it's going right back down again. So it might be a short-term love fest at this point. Okay, I can take one more and then I have to run away. Sorry for the short show. We'll do a longer one from inside the forest tomorrow. Thomas Dubois, I'm battling mantle cell non-Hodgkin lymphoma, B-cell. 1/200,000 get it and no cure. Oof. Hoping around session 6 or 8. Bendamustine and rituximab. It can be put into remission. Retrace life asking why. Okay. Well, do that, Battle Thomas. Get it. just going to avoid those ones. Okay. Do one more, and then run away. Okay. Chris Owen says, as I mentioned, I have had friends who paid off their home equity line of credit early with, paid off their houses early with a home equity line of credit. You can do that too. Use that as a form of refinancing, and hopefully get lower payments. Right now, interest rates are kind of like, wah, so it depends on if you have interest rates like 1% on your 30-year mortgage versus getting a home equity line of credit that's 8%. It might not be the best, but yeah. Okay, I do have to run. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me in my yard. We'll probably be in the yard again tomorrow because I think it's supposed to be even warmer. And yeah, so cheers. Things happening, butterflies flying, going wah, and landing on stuff, and trying to get on that flower, and almost gets on that flower, and finally does it. And now we're over. Okay, bye-bye.